I'm just going to say the elephant in the room. This does not help SNS, Sanmar, and Alpha Broker.
Yeah, but it also may not hurt them because really it's the user needs to get to the best price. We are not.
Are you saying that, Stephen, because they could see a cheaper product easily?
It's because it lowers switching costs essentially between the different ones if they see a better option, right, Stephen?
Yeah, I mean, I buy everything from SNS, and now Mila's like, oh, I have that cheaper at Sanmar. And so I email my SNS rep and say, hey, just so you know this, I'm getting this cheaper over here. And they're like, okay, I'll make that price change for you. Thanks. You know, without, and that doesn't help them, right? It just doesn't. The fact that, you know, you can switch between the two, that switching cost, if you will, is now almost negligent. Like, you know, so are you worried about that at all?
So the way we've set it up, and we were very careful about this, is all of the data is siloed per user. So you make an account on DGI, and then you connect your own accounts to DGI. So we are kind of like you mentioned, where you saw like a price discrepancy. You could have gone to the individual websites and found that information yourself as well. So we're not showing anyone anything new. Like I think, you know, the distributors were kind of already aware that they compete with each other, and we made it a little bit easier for people to find the best choice more quickly. But also, like in your case, they may win more business. So you mentioned like Sanmar was cheaper on one. Now they got more business that way. SNS may be cheaper the next day. They got more business that way. So, really
I mean, it's kind of what
focused on.
It's what Kayak does. It's what Kayak does with hotels.
Yeah. And it's like Kayak charges the suppliers like a referral fee on all the volume. And like for us, it's just free. We don't ask for anything. We just made something that makes their own customers happier. So I don't see a huge downside.
I mean, this is the tech version of a buying group. You know, you join Sports Inc. or, you know, one of these large buying groups, they have purchasing power. And they can go to different brands and say, hey, we will send X volume. All of our businesses do, you know, $1 billion a year in revenue. We can send you Y dollars in purchasing power. And so we need Z price from you, you know, not the market price. We want something better. It makes me wonder, does DGI head in that direction? You know, are you part of the DGI purchasing group and you could send volume?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't think at this point, we don't want to move in that direction. It just doesn't seem that exciting. Like buying groups already exist. And the other thing is like, I think the distributors would really not like us then if we were helping people get better prices on the same stuff they're already buying. Our goal is to just make sure the shop owner or the purchasing person gets to the right choice from their existing options as quickly as possible. And then kind of looking how to monetize from there. So yeah.
Your first priority is helping the shop. That is, they are at this like Campus Inc. The athlete always comes first. For you guys, it's the customer. You know, the shop owner comes first. That kind of trumps all.
Yeah, exactly. And I think if a lot of people are purchasing on the website, then you know that opens up opportunities for like advertisements or sponsored listings or ways to make money. But if people don't really like buying on DGI because we've done something wrong, then there isn't really an opportunity to monetize. But also at the end of the day, like I think these shops get squeezed a lot of times. Like we saw it over the pandemic where it was difficult to turn a profit for a while. If someone changes prices, they're really sensitive. You get a lot of customers that come into the shop and they're like, hey, you know, I found this price on, some custom ink knockoff. Can you match it? Like these shops get squeezed a lot. And so I think if we can do something that empowers them a little bit and helps them, there's a chance that it like becomes really popular and people really like it. So that's kind of the direction we're going in. It's all about the shops though.
Wait, yeah. Stephen, what do you think then? What do you think the distributors are? Is it okay? You know, obviously it's still early, right? So I'm sure they're not going to see an effect, but let's fast forward 3 years. And the fact that this is a very helpful tool. Now what?
I think if you're like the big three, right? Like you're looking at it and you're like, okay, this is a small threat because now my competitors are getting closer to me. They are 1 inch closer to me than they were before, right? Or there's more visibility. But I think what it also does is it allows, I imagine like today you've got Alpha, SNS, Sanmar, Carolina made, Augusta, ACC, and Print Gear. Could other distributors be on this, like AS Color or Lane 7 or, the ones that I have to go on and shop with like one at a time? Are they going to be coming on?
Yeah, and AS Color will actually be added on in the next 2 weeks. So we signed them up, and they're just paying like a small monthly fee to be on. And then Staten out of Dallas and Memphis will be on as well. So I mean, we're slowly like adding a few more one at a time, and it's really just based on where the shops give us a lot of demand to add new vendors.
Man, you got some great connections. I wonder where you made them. Holy cow, AS Color that quick? Jeez.
Wait, but Steven, what do you think? Is an alpha broder saying, shit, this kind of sucks that people are doing this, but then again, they can price shop as they do. Currently, it's just there's a lot less friction here, So like, which side of the boat are they pushing on? Do they have to lean on more customer service based driven value because the price is essentially commoditized, or what?
I think what's interesting is, every day, like I just look at Mila, who buys for us every single day. She goes SNS, Sanmar, Alpha Broder. She's got, her screens open. 80% of the time we're buying from SNS, right? Sanmar is a backup. Alpha is a third backup. Sorry, Alpha Broder. She's more, I bet you we've spent more at Alpha now because she's more conscious of Alpha's prices and Alpha's products, right? And so if we were a shop that didn't buy a lot from there, I bet you would buy a little bit more. On the flip side, those top ones that we put all our business in, they might need to make sure that they're defensible against the other ones. You see what I'm saying? So like, I think it gives the big three the opportunity to pick off others. But it also could kind of equalize the playing field a little bit.
I wonder if it's just like the airline industry. You talk about being Expedia for this space. Well, what keeps you married to United, Steven? Your credit card, your status, your lounges, your like the all the extras of how they treat you versus just the flight. Like the actual process of getting to somewhere is like, anybody can get me there, but all the additions are what keeps you married to United.
And that's the same thing with SNS. They take just amazing care of us. I texted Tim Shannon on Sunday night to get a rush order of, $10,000 order, pick up Monday morning, and he pushed it through, right? And he's like an executive at the company, right? They fly us out for everything. They take care of our students. They do promotions. They do this. They do that. They take really, really good care of us. So I think it strengthens them. I think for the bigger shops, those distributors probably don't like it as much. For the smaller ones, I think it's good for them because, it's more eyeballs and more visibility that might not exist. I don't know.